Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video. And today we are going to be talking about my top 5 Naughty Dog games of all time. Now, this is my personal list. It may change in a few days depending on how good a certain game is. I'm not too sure, but this is just my personal list. So let me know, obviously, your list. What games did you like? What's your favourite games? And all that good stuff. This question was obviously asked from my good friend Valetsu. Go follow him on Twitter. I'm going to link his Twitter handle on this video on my Twitter. So obviously go check him out, follow him, check his channel out as well, and all that good stuff. So let's get into this video and let's start off at number 5. And for me, this was a very difficult one because there's a ton of games that could have got this spot, but for me, I have to do it because I felt like it was the start of, I guess, the new Naughty Dog that we obviously see nowadays, which have obviously made games like The Last of Us and all that sort of stuff, and that is Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, the first real, I think, the first real move into, I guess, more adult-themed games. Obviously, there was obviously no multiplayer in it, but even with that said, I think it had a very, very good story. I think it was a really good game. I think it was a really solid game, in my opinion. I think definitely the Nathan Drake collection really did a number on it. I think it really showed how good it was. Obviously, I went back and played the PS3 version lately, and it was struggling a little bit. It didn't hold up as well as obviously the Nathan Drake version because it was remastered, redone, and all that good stuff. But still, I think it was really the start of the movement with Naughty Dog to a more adult-themed game, which personally I'm glad they did. Now, I say that at the same time, I do love games like Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, but I think for the company, I think it was best that this happened, and I'm glad, it was really successful. Bear in mind, this was kind of like, I guess, a tech demo sort of thing for the PS3, if you think about it, because really nobody wanted a PS3 at the time. I thought it was a fantastic system, but no one really wanted it. The multiplats didn't run very well. It didn't have a ton of games at the start, and it really did, take a while to kind of, I guess, get into what, Naughty Dog, what the PlayStation 3 was, which was a fantastic system, but it took them a little bit of time to do that, and I think for a tech demo, you'd look at on the PS4, the likes of Infamous Second Son and Drive Club. Uncharted is one of the best tech demos you can possibly see to show that you can develop games for it, and I just think it was an amazing game, in my humble opinion. At number 4, now, I wanted to put this game in. I had to put the game in because I've been seeing a ton of rumours about it, and it's really bringing back a lot of nostalgia, and that is Crash Bandicoot. But my favourite Crash Bandicoot now, going back, thinking about it, has got to be Crash Bandicoot 3. I absolutely adored that game. I remember, because bear in mind, obviously, I was kind of, I was only really, gaming. I was like 3 or 4 years old, and all the Crash Bandicoot games were already out. You know what I mean? So I kind of had the privilege, like, I wasn't brought up on this game, and then this one came out. Where I could kind of put like my own opinion because I had them all at the same time. So for me, I think Crash Bandicoot 3 was amazing. I think you had like 2 characters in that game. You played as the female, and you played as obviously Crash. It just had a ton of settings, and for me, it really blew me away of how good that game looked, and all the different set pieces, because bear in mind, at that time when I was playing it, the PS2 was out. I believe Prince of Persia was out on the PS2, and I remember the Arabian sort of setting in Prince of Persia. They kind of have, obviously, a kid's version in Crash Bandicoot 3. The game was pretty difficult, I've got to say, but To this day, one of my greatest gaming experiences is definitely Crash Bandicoot 3, and it has to make this list. And Sony, I don't care how much it's cost you. I've been reading reports that you're making more money than the whole of a Nintendo, all right, on PSN alone. So what I need you to do, Sony, is, you can have a terrible service. No, they don't have a terrible service, but you can have. You don't have to have the best online. You don't have to give us great PlayStation Plus games. Just for Christ's sake, buy the Crash Bandicoot IP and give it to Sucker Punch or Insomniac to make a fantastic reboot. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, definitely at number 4. Now, number 3, this was very difficult. And I think you're probably going to guess what 3 and 2 are. You know what I mean? Once I tell you 3, you're probably going to guess what 2 is. But it's so difficult because on another day, and I've said it many times, I've even done a video when I beat it, when I got the Nathan Drake collection, platinumed it, beat the game on Crushing. I said the complete opposite, but I've had a little sit. I've went through again and I platinumed Uncharted 2 on the PS3 and Uncharted 3 on the PS3 because I got a new count of this generation, and I rebought a PS3, and you know what I mean. So for me, going back and playing it again on an even playing field, I have to put in third place Uncharted 3. Now, Uncharted 3, I still feel is a 10 out of 10 game. I feel that Uncharted 1 is about an 8.59 out of 10. I think it's a very good first game. I think it's a really good basis for the series. But overall, I think both 3 and 2 are 10 out of 10. But the thing is, with 3, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, the story was better in 3. The story was better. I felt the game had evolved. I think graphically, story-wise, character-wise, we learned more about Nathan Drake. It was a lot more different. See, with Uncharted 1 and Uncharted 2, obviously the game had developed the game looked a ton better, but it felt a lot like Uncharted 1. That's not a bad thing. The game was fantastic in terms of story-wise. But I felt with Uncharted 3, it was an evolution. I felt like it moved forward the series into maybe a little bit more serious, we learned a little bit more about Nathan Drake. We learned a bit more about, the whole, his upbringing and all that. So, for me, story-wise, Uncharted 3 is the better game. But the whole package, Uncharted 3's single player is slightly better than Uncharted 2's single player, in my humble opinion. But Uncharted 2's multiplayer was leaps and bounds, in my humble opinion, leaps and bounds ahead of Uncharted 3's multiplayer, and that's the reason, obviously, in number 2 is Uncharted 2. Yes, I feel the game really was amazing. The thing is with Uncharted 2, nobody bought Uncharted. Well, I'm not saying nobody. I'm sure a lot of people did or whatever, but nobody really cared about Uncharted until Uncharted 2 came out. When it won Game of the Year and everyone's giving it 10s, and you got all these great articles written about it, and all that sort of stuff. No one really cared about Nathan Drake until then, and I think that shows. I think that shows how good Uncharted 2 was, and I think the multiplayer really put the game above Uncharted 3, in my humble opinion. And if I'm going to be honest, it's one of the best multiplayers I personally played, particularly Naughty Dog. It's definitely the best Naughty Dog multiplayer I've played. But I feel that, it's just a great game, a great franchise, and I just, I feel the thing is why I'm so excited for Uncharted 4 is because the multiplayer, to me, and now you may disagree and let me know your opinion, but to me the multiplayer feels very, very similar to Uncharted 2, which is awesome. But they also, the single player feels a lot like, I guess, a Last of Us, Uncharted 3 sort of hybrid. So to me, this game just seems amazing, and I can't wait for it. But finally, number one. Now, this may not surprise you because it's one of my favourite games of all time, and that is The Last of Us. Yes, The Last of Us is just an incredible game. To me, like I said, probably Uncharted 2 multiplayer. Maybe, I don't even know, because I probably put more time into The Last of Us multiplayer. But bear in mind, the remastered version on the PS4 for Uncharted didn't have multiplayer, so that may have changed if that was the case. But I just feel with The Last of Us, it nailed everything, and I mean everything. It nailed the mood, it nailed the setting, it nailed the character models, the graphics, the gameplay, the story, the multiplayer, everything in that game to me was a 10 out of 10. And to me, I to this day even never really could find a problem with it. I'm sure someone could tell me, like, I know a lot of people complain about ladders in the game, like, really? One of the greatest games ever made and you're complaining about ladders. But, it is what it is. I mean, everyone has their right to not like what they don't not like. That's completely fine. But to me, I just feel like if that's the one thing you can find about The Last of Us that makes it not a good game, I don't think you want to be gaming, because I don't know many games that, that the only problem is too many ladders. Do you know what I mean? That's a sort of IGN review. Do you know what I'm saying? Too much water, too many ladders. But for me, I just think the game is superb. I think it's a masterpiece, in my opinion. Obviously, you're entitled to your opinion. Now, obviously, let me know what your opinion is, and let me know, obviously, what your top 5 games are from Naughty Dog. And yeah, as well, I think, let me know any questions you want me to do videos on, or any sort of that stuff. But yeah, as I say, guys, this has been Eminem Gaming. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I'll catch you guys in a new video very soon.